is that?
Answer. I was captured by this Mandalore during the attempt. He was able to reverse my programming and send me after my own master. It was quite distressing. There was little I could do. Needless to say, I dispatched the Mandalorian soldier efficiently. Once I deactivated, I believe I eventually ended up on the black market and was sold to the Hutt on Slaheron. My darkest day.
So you couldn't kill Mandalore, huh?
Statement. With all due respect, Master, he is the leader of the Mandalorians. Perhaps my old master was foolish to send me after him.
So you killed that master directly.
Statement. So I did. I am not very proud of that master. The soldier seemed very startled, I must say.
You remember anything else?
Answer. There are a few Mandalorian implants that I can activate now. They will improve my performance. Beyond that, Master, there is nothing more I can relate to you. With luck, we will discover the stimulus to unlock my core very soon.
Cool.
Statement. Negatory. Those are protected.
Okay, hold on.
The only way those memories could...
Right. So there's nothing else to do with HK. We can try and talk to Candy,
I've
man.
been given a challenge I can't ignore.
What? Why is he so mad at you?
This is between me and Joggy. You don't have to get involved. If you're lucky, he might spill something before I spread him in a paste over the dunes.
Alright, well, we gotta do that for Candy, man. Is there anything else we can do? Maybe talk a little bit to Jolee again?
Got something on your...
You mentioned something about your adventuring days?
Did I say that? Strange the tricks memory plays on you when you get older.
So you weren't an adventurer?
Didn't I say that my past was my affair? You don't see me poking and prodding you with questions, do you?
Yeah, I do. You're just not used to company. Stop being an old coot.
I might be, but a mouthy young thing like yourself shouldn't get to call me an old coot, damn it. Besides, you don't really want to hear about me. We're talking ancient history, probably before you were born. History bores kids. Proven fact.
Yeah, well, old people love to talk about history. Proven fact.
Oh, fine. Have it your way. Just don't cry about it later. Yes, I was an adventurer. Happy now? I wasn't even done with my Jedi training back then. I had a full head of hair and an eagerness to see absolutely everything. Sound familiar? The Council was never happy with willful, brash Jolee Bindo, you see. Even less so when I began my smuggling career.
How did that happen?
At the time, the Yukata system was interdicted by its own king. He preferred to keep his people starving and poor, all the better to oppress them. The Senate was trying to negotiate a peace, but they were getting nowhere as usual. I decided I wasn't going to wait. I found myself a ship and a partner, and we began smuggling food and supplies to the Yukata citizenry through the blockade.
I still can't believe you actually did that.
Why not? There were millions of people crying out for aid. What else was I supposed to do?
How about nothing?
Don't be stupid. Are you doing nothing? If nothing's not good enough for you, there's no reason it should have been good enough for me back then either.
Where'd you get all the credits for that?
Well, we didn't buy all the equipment per se. Some were happy to donate goods. Some we just, knew had more than they could use.
So you stole it.
Stole is such a harsh word. They would have donated those goods readily enough if they were compassionate. I considered it a tax on the greedy. We only got caught once. A lone Yukatish frigate shot us down and forced a crash landing. I thought the Force had abandoned me, as I remember.
Well, that was pretty stupid of you.
As I recall, I'm not the only person in this conversation who's been shot down out of the sky recently. Well, as it happens...
Yeah, but we
getting
haven't
shot
been.
down turned out to be very fortunate. That day was the day
Well, sort of. I guess if you're counting the Andar Spire. That was the day you what?
Well, that was the day I met my wife.
Your wife? You were married?
You know another way to get a wife? But yes, that's when I met her. If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to stop talking now. My mouth is starting to draw flies.
Alright, he's not cool with that.
Got something on.
What do you think of Sunry's verdict?
You did what was necessary. Sunry was guilty. As sad as that fact makes me, justice had to be done. Doesn't matter that his victim was a Sith or that he was once a hero. I only wish that my old friend hadn't done it. But that's the thing about wishes. They don't come true. And now Sunry's dead, which is a shame. He was a good man, you know, once. I don't want to talk about this anymore. My jaw aches.
Fine. Alright, we'll leave Jolee to his shit. Juhani, we'll make fun of her some more.
I've been watching you, and I cannot help but feel that you are becoming more distant. When we met, it was you that convinced me to turn away from the lure.
I did not. I didn't.
But now it seems that you are falling into the trap that had caught me.
Shut the... Shut the heck... Let's do it.
No, please. I must speak.
Shut the heck...
When we first met, I looked at you
Oh
with
god, it's
contempt.
great.
You were some insect
Oof.
sent by the Jedi Council to eliminate me. But you are more powerful than I ever would have thought. It seemed so easy for you to overcome me.
Yes, it was.
And this is just the problem. You seem to revel in your power. Use it far too frequently for your own gain. I do not know. I fear that you may be starting to fall.
I think
wonder if
starting's
it
a little
started when you met me in
late.
that grove. I wonder if it could be my fault.
You overestimate your effect on me.
Maybe I do. I have had reason to wonder recently if I have had any effect at all. But I have faith in you. I would follow you into battle with Malak himself. I will stand by your side.
Even if I keep poking fun at her, I don't get...
How may I be of assistance?
Can we talk?
What is it you...
Tell me more about your past.
Well, I mentioned before that my parents had fled to Taris. Perhaps I can tell you about that.
Sure. There was no Cathar on Terrace that I saw.
No, there were not. Having fled the birth world of my species, my parents flew as far and wide as they could. And so I was raised alone, knowing of my birthplace only the few stories my parents could tell, and seeing no other member of my species at all.
Why were there no other members of your species on Terrace?
It all comes back to wars and fighting. The curse of your race, it seems. In the early days of the Mandalorian War, there had been fighting closer to the Outer Rim worlds.
Your people were in that region?
Cathar was there, yes. My people had a great reputation as warriors, and that appealed to the Mandalore version of honor. They sought to test themselves against us, I think. Test themselves by bombing our world, slaughtering my people while they slept or while they ran.
The Mandalorians fought dirty.
They swooped down from space, across the world, firing at anything that moved. They used ships in space to destroy all orbital facilities and bombard the surface. We did resist, and in spite of their violent attack, we did stave them off for quite a while. But in the end, we were doomed.
That's what you get for being unprepared.
We were prepared. Just not for an invasion of that size. And we had counted on the aid of our allies, of the Republic. We were not members of the Republic. Cathar was beyond the edge of the Republic, in the Outer Rim. And besides, they could not have known. Our interstellar communications were the first things the Mandalores hit. All other short-range communicators were jammed. We were on our own. We knew what was coming. We had fought the Mandalorians in the first war against Exar Kun and the Sith. We knew there would be no mercy for us. The most we could do was pack the few of our people who survived onto what few ships remained and send them off into space as fast as they could. Most did not make it.
What about your family?
My parents carried me as a baby with them and were lucky enough to escape. They fled as far as they were able and eventually settled on Taris. They could stand running no further, I think. But Taris was a horrible choice. Dominated by humans, intolerant of other species, it made everyday life unnecessarily hard.
Your parents do not sound very wise to me.
Perhaps they were not. Perhaps they did not know better. It did not take long for things to get worse. My father turned to stimulants. He spent much of his time in local bars and dives. But we are warriors. It runs through our blood. And when he was on stims, he became foolish. He let his warrior nature get the best of him. So he would get intoxicated, and he would fight. And finally, one day, he would die.
How did he die?
Killed by a man who provoked him into a fight and killed him like an animal. I am sorry. I cannot talk about this any longer right now.
I'm sure we can, actually.
How may I be of a...
Whenever you talk.
What is it?
What happened after your father died?
After my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Taris. It was not easy for her.
Could you not... what happened?
When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day.
What did you do for her?
She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being. They are the major suppliers of slaves on Taris.
They captured you?
They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credits for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians.
How could the Jedi stand for that?
The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream.
What was the dream?
I swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Dantooine. And we both know what has happened since then.
You became a Jedi.
I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become what I hated. Someday, I may make it up to you. But for now, let us keep on the task at hand.
So that should be her last bit of
How may I be
information.
of assistance?
What does she want to talk? Nothing.
Of course.
So basically, I'm going to take her with me as well as Candaris to Tatooine. Maybe her mission will get... her mission should be... You know, it should change or whatever. What do you call it? It should trigger.
How can I help?
Nothing.
Then I suggest...
We're done with her. We're maxed out,
What do you
Karthman.
need?
Never mind.
You got it.
Okay, so basically everybody's ready. So I might as well... Oh, wait a minute. You know what? It doesn't matter where I go. Watch this. I'll try. Let's see if we try to go to Tatooine. Forgot I finished 4 out of the 5 star maps. I'm counting down Tatooine as well. With a little something happens along the way. You'll see. We're proceeding through the game quite well, though. La da 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 da. See? This music. I think, anyway. Or maybe it'll let me do it, and then I have to travel to my last map. I think that's when it happens. I could be wrong, though. Find out in a few seconds. Oh, no. It happens now.
What happened? What's going on?
Sith Interdictor ship. They must have been waiting for us on the
Interdict.
hyperspace route. We're caught in their tractor beam.
Do you recognize the ship?
It's the Leviathan. Saul Kareth's vessel. My old mentor.
Now this is interesting. We're going to be captured. Now we don't have much time to work out a game plan. It's such vaginas, you know. I think it's pretty large in comparison, isn't it?
Admiral Kareth taught me everything I know about being a soldier. He was a legend in the Republic fleet, and a hero to me until he betrayed us. When the Sith attacked my homeworld, the Leviathan, which is Saul Kareth's flagship, was at the head of the fleet. My family was destroyed that day, and my wife died in the Sith bombardment.
This is your chance to avenge the deaths of your family.
That is not the way of the Jedi. Vengeance, anger, emotion. These things lead to the dark side.
Don't start,
I'm not gonna do
Bastila.
anything stupid. I mean, I won't throw our lives away in some mad quest for vengeance, but if I get a chance to kill Saul during our escape, nobody better get in my way.
Talk of an escape is somewhat premature, don't you think? We don't even have a plan to get out of this mess yet.
And I'll admit, it won't be easy. Saul's no fool, and he won't underestimate us either. You can count on plenty of guards watching every move we make.
Maybe Admiral Kareth doesn't know how many of us there are on board. We all have special talents. Talents we could exploit so that one of us could stage a rescue. We just have to figure out who has the best chance to avoid capture so they can come and rescue us later. It's a long shot, but it's our only hope.
Admiral Kareth will be watching the 3 of us very closely. One of the others is going to have to save us.
Well, if we're gonna pick someone to save our skins, we better do it quick. In another minute, we're gonna have Sith troops marching up our loading ramp.
See, this is your best choice. Mission can do it. I'm going to look it up. What do they recommend as the best character? Because I've only done it with Mission, I think. Hold on. Let's see. KOTOR. Leviathan. Capture. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Well, we don't have time for this. I'm looking it up. Let's see. Yeah, they're 5. You could be missing 2 characters. HK, blah, blah. Hold on. It says this guy used HK. Sorry, guys. What else? It's pretty funny. T3 is a pretty resourceful guy. He can pull this off. Jolee could use the Force to affect their minds. Candace, is there any way we could exploit your healing ability? Juhani, you can use your Force powers and camouflage abilities to avoid capture. Joy would be the best. HK could come and rescue us. Sounds like a job for a Wookiee. He's the worst choice. Hold on. Really? She is possibly the most difficult character to use to rescue your party. Really? I wonder what's the best one to choose. Maybe I should pick something else. Jolee could be the best. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure it out. I didn't know that mission was the hardest. I've had no problems with it, but it's gonna. I want to kind of try something else because I did mission in the last game. T3, he's getting a memory wipe. Jolee is apparently really easy. These guys are really easy. I'm wondering if I should do HK. Give HK a try. Because he's got a regeneration ability, right? And I've maxed him out. And Juhani starts fully equipped. Jolee has a really good chance. So, I think it's going to be between Jolee, Candace, or who? HK. One of those 3. I'm kind of leaning towards HK because I want to see what he can do. Change it up a little bit because I think I've never used anyone else other than Mission. And I've had no problems. You know what? Maybe we should do this.
Statement. My construction includes a reserve memory chip and backup power supply that automatically kicks in if I have been shut down too long. Deactivate my